I'm Sophie Turner, and right now, I'm soaked to the bone, kneeling in a thunderstorm that's tearing through Asheville like it's got a personal grudge. Rain stings my face, cold and sharp, as I wrestle with a wrench under the hood of my sister Clara's SUV. The Montford street lamp flickers above, casting jagged shadows across the gravel. Clara's voice slices through the wind, shrill and panicked. "Sophie, hurry! I'm late for the gala at the Omni Grove Park Inn." My fingers, numb from the chill, fumble with a loose battery wire. I'm saving her night, but deep down I know she won't even glance back to thank me. What's she hiding behind that perfect smile? Hope you enjoyed this story. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear where you're watching from. Now, let's continue with the story. The wind howls louder, rattling the cedar trees lining our street in Montford, Asheville's quirky, historic neighborhood. The French Broad River churns nearby, its roar blending with the storm's fury. I'm 28, a warehouse worker who's spent years fixing things, cars, appliances, even people's messes. Because that's what Dad taught me before he passed. His old red toolbox sits open beside me, its hinges creaking as rain pools in the crevices. I'm exhausted, just off a 10-hour shift hauling crates at the distribution center off Patton Avenue. But when Clara called, screaming about her dead SUV, I didn't hesitate. I never do. Maybe that's my problem. Clara's pacing behind me, her heels clicking on the wet pavement. She's 32, a nonprofit coordinator who's always got one foot in the spotlight. Tonight's her big moment, a gala pitch for Asheville's Fall Arts Festival, the kind of event where she schmoozes with local bigwigs under chandeliers. Her SUV dying in this storm is a crisis, and I'm her fix. "Sophie, come on!" she snaps, holding a flimsy umbrella that's already turned inside out. "They're waiting for me!" Her voice is sharp, like I'm the one who broke her car. I bite my tongue, focusing on the battery terminal, crusted green with corrosion. Dad used to grumble about this exact issue with his old Ford. I scrape it clean with my sleeve, the rain mixing with grease on my hands. "Hold the flashlight," I mutter, my breath visible in the chilly air. Clara's hands shake as she aims the beam, but she doesn't say a word. Not thanks, not sorry. The storm's getting worse, lightning cracking so close I flinch. My boots are soaked, water seeping into my socks like icy fingers. I find the loose ground wire, the culprit, and dig through Dad's toolbox for a spare clamp. My fingers are stiff, but I tighten the bolt, heart pounding louder than the thunder. 20 minutes later, the engine coughs, then purrs to life. Clara's eyes light up, a high, relieved laugh escaping her. "You did it," she says, slapping my shoulder hard enough to sting. "I owe you big time, Sophie." For a second, despite the rain trickling down my spine, I smile. Maybe this is it, a moment she'll remember, a crack in the wall between us. Clara's always been the golden child, the one Mom brags about at church, while I'm just Sophie, the one who shows up with a wrench. I don't need a parade, just a nod that says I matter. But then she's in her SUV, tires spinning on wet gravel, taillights vanishing into the storm. I stand there, toolbox heavy in my hand, the rain washing away that fleeting hope. She didn't even look back. I trudge back to my bungalow, a small weathered place across from Clara's pristine home with its succulents and solar lanterns. My porch light flickers, barely cutting through the gloom. Inside, the house smells of coffee and old wood, a faint comfort against the storm's rage. I drop the toolbox by the door, peeling off my soaked jacket. My phone buzzes. Probably Maya, my coworker, checking if I survived the shift. I'll text her later. For now, I just want to dry off and heat up some leftover mac and cheese. As I kick off my boots, I notice Grace O'Malley, my neighbor, peering from her porch across the street. She's 65, a retired librarian with a sharp eye and a knack for seeing through people. She waves, holding up a towel. I cross over, the rain lighter now but still biting. "You're a saint fixing cars in this mess," she says, her voice warm but edged with something I can't place. "Some folks only notice you when you stop helping." I take the towel, muttering thanks, but her words stick like damp leaves. What does she know about Clara that I don't? Back home, I sink into the couch, the storm still rattling the windows. Asheville's artsy vibe, murals on every corner, folk music drifting from downtown. Usually feels like home, but tonight, it's just noise. I replay Clara's laugh, her slap on my shoulder, and that promise, "I owe you big time." It's not the first time she said it, but it's the first time it feels hollow. I don't know it yet, but this night is the start of something bigger, a betrayal that'll crack open everything I thought I knew about family, trust, and myself. 5 days from now, I'll find a fine taped to my door, a $5,900 slap in the face that Clara orchestrated. But tonight, I'm just a sister who fixed a car, hoping for a glance that never comes. The storm outside is nothing compared to what's coming. 5 days after the storm, I'm still shaking off the memory of Clara's taillights disappearing into the Asheville night. I thought fixing my sister's SUV in that thunderstorm was just another Tuesday. Help out, get ignored, move on. But now, I'm standing on my porch, staring at a bright orange sticker slapped across my front door like a warning shot. The Montford neighborhood is quiet, the French Broad River humming in the distance. But my heart's pounding louder than any storm. The paper trembles in my hand. Notice of code violation. Operating a commercial auto repair business without a license. Fine, $5,900. My breath catches. Attached are grainy photos. Me, bent over Clara's hood, rain-soaked, toolbox open. The timestamp matches that night, and the angle? It's from across the street. Clara's house. I blink hard, the words blurring. There's no business, no side hustle, just one night, one car, one sister who said, I owe you big time. I sink onto the porch steps, the damp wood cold against my jeans. Asheville's autumn air carries the scent of wet leaves and coffee from Double D's down the street, but it does nothing to ground me. I read the notice again, my fingers tracing the official seal of the Buncombe County Compliance Division. Photos from across the street. Clara's porch, with its perfect succulents and solar lanterns, is the only place with that view. My chest tightens, like someone's parked a crate from the warehouse on it. I shove the notice into my pocket and head to work. The warehouse on Patton Avenue buzzing with the usual chaos. Forklifts beeping, crates sliding across concrete. Maya Ruiz, my coworker, and probably the only person I'd call a friend, spots me by the break room. She's 30, a single mom with a laugh that cuts through the noise. But today her eyes narrow as I slump into a chair. You look like you saw a ghost, Sophie, she says, sliding me a coffee. I pull out the crumpled notice and hand it to her. Her brows shoot up as she reads, $5,900? For what? Fixing a car in your driveway? Who even reported this? I don't answer, just stare at the steam rising from my cup. Maya leans in, her voice low. Last year, my landlord tried to fine me for unauthorized renovations because I fixed my kid's bunk bed. Turned out he just wanted me out. You gotta keep receipts, Sophie. People don't play fair. Her words hit hard, stirring up Grace's comment from that stormy night. Some folks only notice you when you stop helping. I nod, but my mind's already across the street replaying Clara's laugh, her slap on my shoulder. Did she plan this? At lunch, I slip out to Double D's, the quirky coffee shop with its double-decker bus vibe, hoping the bustle will clear my head. Asheville's artsy crowd fills the tables. Tattooed baristas, musicians planning the next festival. I order a latte, the foam swirled into a leaf, and sit by the window. The notice burns a hole in my pocket. I call the county office, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. Yes, ma'am, the clerk says, her tone clipped. The photos are time-stamped. We had multiple reports. Repeat offenses are serious. I croak. Multiple? It was one time. My sister's car during a storm. She doesn't budge, just says I can appeal, but the fine stands for now. I hang up, my hands shaking. Multiple reports? That's impossible. I helped Clara, nobody else. The latte's gone cold, and the cafe's chatter feels like static. I think about Dad, how he'd fix neighbors' cars for free, his toolbox always open. He'd say, Sophie, you don't need a license to be kind. But kindness didn't get me a $5,900 fine. I head back to the warehouse, Maya's words echoing, keep receipts. I don't have receipts, but I have a sinking feeling Clara's got more than photos up her sleeve. That evening, I'm back on my porch, the notice spread out on the wicker table. The Montford streetlights glow, casting long shadows across Clara's house. Her SUV is parked out front, dashcam blinking like an unblinking eye. I want to march over, demand answers, but my feet stay rooted. What if she laughs it off? What if she lies? The river's hum is drowned out by my pulse. I don't know it yet, but this fine is just the start. a crack in the foundation of everything I thought I knew about family. I wake up the next morning with a headache that feels like the storm never left. My bungalow's quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your skin. I brew coffee, the drip hissing in the silence, and try to act normal. Brush my teeth, pull on my warehouse boots. But the orange sticker's still on my kitchen table, glowing like a neon sign. I can't shake the image of Clara's porch, those photos snapped from her perfect little world. I need answers. And I need them now. I cross the street, the Montfort air crisp with the scent of pine and damp earth. Clara's bungalow is a postcard. White siding, lavender candles flickering through the window, succulents lined up like soldiers. I knock 3 times, each one harder than the last. She opens the door, dressed in yoga pants and a peach sweatshirt, a glass of kombucha in her hand. Asheville's wellness obsession is written all over her. "Hey, Sophie," she says, her voice flat like she's already bored. "You okay?" I hold up the notice, my hand steady despite the fire in my chest. "Did you report me to the county for running a business out of my garage?" Her lips twitch, not quite a smirk, but close enough to sting. "You should have known better, Sophie. Asheville's strict about codes. You can't just go around fixing cars like Dad did." Her words hit like a slap. I helped her, saved her gala, and now she's throwing city rules in my face. "I fixed your car," I say, my voice cracking. "You were stranded in a storm, Clara." She sips her kombucha, eyes cool. "City rules are rules. I didn't tell them to fine you. They probably just saw." I stare at her, heart thudding. "Those photos were from your porch, Clara. Who else could have taken them?" She raises a brow, like I'm the one being ridiculous. "Don't make this a thing, okay? You're overreacting." No apology, no thank you. Just distance, like I'm a stranger who wandered into her orbit. I step back, rain starting to sprinkle again, lighter but colder than the storm. The French Broad River murmurs behind us, and I hear Grace's voice in my head. "Some folks only notice you when you stop helping." I don't slam her gate or yell, I just turn, one soggy step at a time, the notice crumpled in my fist. My house feels smaller as I walk back, the porch light dim against the gray sky. Inside, I drop the notice on the kitchen table, its edges curling like it's a shame to be there. The house creaks, the old AC unit kicking on. I can't move, not yet. I sit, staring at the fine, $5,900, but it's not the number that burns. It's Clara's face, that almost smirk, the way she didn't even blink. I want to believe it's a mistake, that someone else took those photos, but my gut knows better. She lives across the street. She saw me. She reported me. I don't call anyone, not Evan, my brother, or Maya, who'd probably tell me to lawyer up. I just sit, the silence heavy, waiting for something to break. Lila, Clara's 18-year-old daughter, texts me as I'm microwaving dinner. "Hey, Aunt Sophie, why's Mom acting weird about you?" I stare at the screen, my thumb hovering. Lila's always been curious, the one kid in the family who asks questions instead of swallowing Clara's stories. I type back, "Just a misunderstanding?" "Don't worry." But I'm lying. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a betrayal, and it's only the beginning. Grace knocks on my door an hour later, a local zine tucked under her arm. "Saw you at Clara's?" she says, her eyes sharp but kind. "She's got a lot of pull with the HOA, you know. Be careful." Her words land like a warning bell. I nod, forcing a smile, but my mind's racing. Clara's on the HOA board, and those photos came from her porch. What else is she planning? I go to bed with the notice still on the table, the river's hum faint through my window. Asheville's artsy charm, street musicians, mural-covered walls, feels distant now, like it belongs to someone else. Tomorrow, I'll start digging, but tonight I'm just a sister who's been erased by the one person I thought I could trust. Clara's not done with me, and I'm not done with her. The morning after confronting Clara, I wake to a gray Asheville sky, the kind that promises rain but holds back just to keep you guessing. My bungalow feels like a cage, the orange violation notice still curling on my kitchen table like a bad omen. The $5,900 fine for unlicensed auto repair burns in my mind. Clara's smirk sharper than the words on that paper. I brew coffee, the drip loud in the silence, and try to shake off her voice. "You should have known better." But it's not just her betrayal. It's the photos, snapped from her porch across the street, that make my skin crawl. Someone's watching me, and I'm starting to think it's not just Clara. I pull on my warehouse boots and head to work, the Montford neighborhood quiet, except for the hum of the French Broad River. At the distribution center on Patton Avenue, the air smells of cardboard and diesel. Maya Ruiz, my coworker, catches me in the break room, her eyes narrowing as I slump into a plastic chair. "You still look like you're carrying that fine on your back," she says, tossing me a granola bar. I haven't told her about confronting Clara yet, but her story about her landlord's false complaint echoes in my head. "Keep receipts?" I nod, unwrapping the bar. "It's worse," I say, voice low. I think Clara's not done. Before Maya can respond, my phone buzzes. A new email from the Montford HOA. My stomach twists as I open it. Another violation notice, this time for visible mechanical work in the driveway, complete with a photo of me in my garage, holding a socket wrench, reorganizing Dad's tools. Not fixing anything, just sorting. The timestamp is 2 days ago, the angle from across the street, Clara's house again. My hands shake as I zoom in. There's her SUV in the corner of the frame, dashcam blinking like a smug little spy. "Sophie?" Maya leans over, seeing the screen. "That's no coincidence. She's targeting you." I swallow hard, the granola bar forgotten. Clara's not just reporting me. She's building a case piece by piece to paint me as some kind of rule-breaking menace. The warehouse hums around us, but all I hear is her voice. "Don't make this a thing." I want to scream, but instead I text Leela, Clara's 18-year-old daughter. "Hey, you at home today?" She replies fast. "Yeah, why? Mom's acting weird." I hesitate, then type, "Can you check her laptop? Look for anything about the HOA. It's a long shot, but Lila's always been curious, the one who asks questions Clara dodges." At lunch, I slip out to Double D's, the coffee shop's red bus glowing under the cloudy sky. Asheville's artsy crowd fills the patio, locals sketching, musicians strumming for the fall festival. I order a chai, the spice grounding me, and sit by the window. Grace O'Malley, my neighbor, walks by with a zine under her arm, her silver hair catching the light. She spots me and steps inside. "Saw that new notice on your door," she says, sliding into the seat across from me. Clara's got that HOA board wrapped around her finger. "Watch your back, Sophie." Her words calm but pointed, hit like a warning shot. I nod, clutching my mug. "Why would she do this, Grace?" I helped her. Grace leans back, her eyes sharp. "Some people need to keep others small to feel big. I learned that the hard way with my own sister." She doesn't elaborate, but the weight in her voice tells me she's been where I am. I want to ask more, but my phone buzzes again. "Lila, found something?" Mom's got a folder labeled HOA complaints. "Pics of your garage. I'll send one." My heart races as the screenshot loads. An email draft from Clara's account, with my photo attached and a note. "Ongoing violation. It's dated yesterday. Proof she's not stopping." I head back to the warehouse, Maya's advice ringing in my ears. "Keep receipts. Clara's not just playing dirty, she's playing smart, using her HOA clout to bury me." I don't know how to fight this yet, but I know I can't let her win. That evening, I sit on my porch, the river's hum faint under the streetlights. Clara's house glows across the street, all lavender candles in curated perfection. I want to believe she didn't mean it, that it's a mistake, but that screenshot says otherwise. The Montford air feels heavier now, like the neighborhood itself is holding its breath, waiting for my next move. I'm not ready to confront Clara again. Not yet. But I'm starting to see her for who she is. And it's not the sister I thought I knew. Tomorrow, I'll dig deeper, but tonight, I'm just trying to hold on to the pieces of myself she's trying to take. The next morning, I wake to the smell of rain-soaked cedar creeping through my bungalow's windows. Asheville's gray sky presses down, mirroring the weight in my chest. I'm Sophie Turner, and I'm done being invisible. That $5,900 fine, and Clara's latest HOA stunt, a photo of me sorting tools in my garage, have lit a fire I didn't know I had. I brew coffee, the drip steady as my resolve, and sit at the kitchen table, the violation notices spread out like battle plans. Clara thinks she can erase me with paperwork, but she doesn't know I've got Dad's voice in my head, telling me to keep going. I head to the garage, needing something solid to ground me. The space is cluttered. Dad's toolbox, oil-stained rags, shelves of bolts and wrenches. It smells of metal and memory, the only place I feel like myself. I start reorganizing, but my hands stop on a faded brown notebook tucked behind a crate. Dad's repair manual, its duct-taped spine cracking with age. I open it, my breath catching at his handwriting, sketches of brake systems, torque ratios, notes in blue ink. Halfway through, a sticky note clings to a page. "You're not fixing engines, Sophie. You're fixing faith." My eyes sting. He never said it out loud, but it's him, clear as day. Tucked in the back is an envelope addressed to me in his scrawl. I sit on the cold concrete, the garage door rattling in the wind, and open it. "Sophie," it begins, "you've always been the one staying late, helping without asking for thanks. That's not weakness, it's clarity. If they ever turn on you, don't wait for their apology. Protect your peace." The letter's dated a week before he died, after his last doctor's visit when he said he was tired but wouldn't talk. I read it again, my throat tight. He saw me, even when I felt invisible. I slip the letter into my pocket and head to work. The warehouses hum a dull roar. Maya's in the break room, her son's drawing pinned to her locker. "You okay?" she asks, clocking my face. I show her the letter, my voice low. "Clara's not stopping Maya. She's sending more complaints." Maya's jaw tightens. "My landlord tried that crap. False reports to get me evicted. You need a paper trail. I know a legal aid clinic downtown. Cheryl's good. She helped me." I nod, a plan forming. Clara's playing dirty, but I'm not out yet. At lunch, I meet Grace at Issa's French Bistro, the cafe's warm lights cutting through the drizzle. Asheville's Arts Festival posters line the walls, a reminder of the city's vibrant pulse. Grace slides me a coffee, her eyes sharp. "I stood up to my sister once," she says. "She wanted me to stay small too." "You're stronger than you think, Sophie." Her words echo Dad's, and I feel a spark ignite. Lila texts as I sip my coffee. "Mom's laptop has more HOA stuff. Found an email draft about you. Sent it." The screenshot shows Clara's account, a draft titled "Persistent Violations" with another photo of my garage. My hands clench. She's relentless. I head home. The rivers hum louder as rain picks up. Clara's SUV is parked, dashcam blinking like it's mocking me. I don't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I sit at my kitchen table, Dad's letter beside me, and start writing down every detail. The notices, the photos, Lila's screenshots. Maya's right. I need receipts. Grace's story and Dad's words are fuel, pushing me to fight back. Clara thinks she's got me cornered, but she's about to learn I'm not the sister she can bury. Tomorrow, I'll call Cheryl at the legal aid clinic and start building my case. Asheville's artsy streets with their murals and music feel alive again, like they're rooting for me. Clara's not just fighting me, she's fighting who I'm becoming, and I'm not backing down. Dad's letter is still in my pocket. His words, "Protect your peace," like a heartbeat I can't ignore. I'm done letting Clara paint me as the problem. It's been a week since the second HOA notice hit, accusing me of visible mechanical work for sorting tools in my own garage. Those photos, snapped from Clara's porch across the street and Lila's screenshot of her mom's email drafts, prove this isn't a mistake. It's a campaign. Asheville's morning air is crisp, the French Broad River glinting under a rare clear sky. But my bungalow feels like a battlefield. I'm ready to fight back, and today I start building my case. I head to Issa's French Bistro, the cafe's warm glow a refuge from the chill. Asheville's Arts Festival is in full swing. Posters for local bands and pottery markets plaster the walls, and the smell of fresh croissants mixes with the hum of conversation. I order a latte, the foam swirled into a fern, and open my laptop. Maya's advice from the warehouse, "Keep receipts," is my guide. Lila's latest screenshot, showing Clara's email draft titled "Persistent Violations," sits in my inbox like evidence in a crime scene. I'm not just fighting a fine anymore. I'm fighting for my place in this neighborhood, in this family. Maya joins me, her warehouse apron swapped for a denim jacket. She's 30, a single mom with a fire I'm starting to borrow. "Got that legal aid number?" she asks, sliding into the booth. I nod, pulling out my phone. Cheryl, her contact at the downtown clinic, picks up on the second ring. Her voice is calm, professional, but warm, like she's seen this kind of mess before. "Send me everything," she says, after I explain the fines, the photos, Clara's HOA role. "Sounds like retaliatory complaints. We can draft a formal letter citing selective enforcement. You got proof?" I glance at Maya, who gives a thumbs up. "Yeah, I say. Screenshots, notices, timestamps. Back at Issa's, Maya helps me organize the evidence. We draft a letter to the Montford HOA, my fingers steady on the keys. To whom it may concern, I am contesting the violations dated October 15th and October 20th, issued against my property at 142 Montford Avenue. Evidence suggests these complaints, filed by Clara Hayes, are retaliatory and misuse HOA authority. I attach Lila's screenshots, the notices, and a timeline of events, each line precise, like the bolts Dad taught me to tighten. Maya reads it over, nodding. This is solid, Sophie. You're not just calling her out, you're exposing her. Layla texts as we finish. Mom's got a meeting with the HOA board tonight. She's acting like nothing's wrong. My stomach twists. Clara's playing cool, but I'm not. I email the letter to Cheryl, who promises to file it anonymously with the HOA, and copy the city's compliance office. This could trigger an audit, she warns. You sure you want to escalate? I think of Dad's letter, his voice clear. Protect who you are. Yes, I say, I'm sure. That evening, I sit on my porch, the river's hum mixing with the distant strum of a busker downtown. Clara's house glows across the street, her SUV parked with that damn dashcam blinking. Grace O'Malley walks by, her zine tucked under her arm. Heard you're stirring things up, she says, a glint in her eye. I saw Clara's dashcam pointed at your place last week. Not exactly neighborly. Her words confirm what I suspected. Clara's watching me, documenting every move. I thank Grace, my resolve hardening. This isn't just about a fine, it's about proving I belong here. I head inside, the bungalow's wood floors creaking under my boots. My phone buzzes. Evan, my brother. Hey, Sophie, he says. His landscaper's drawl soft. Clara says you're upset about some HOA thing. Don't make it a big deal, okay? I grip the phone, Dad's letter heavy in my pocket. She's framing me, Evan. Photos, fines, it's her. He sighs like I'm the one causing trouble. Just lay low. She's got that leadership mixer coming up. She's stressed. I hang up, my chest tight. Even Evan's siding with her, or at least refusing to pick a side. But Leela's screenshots and Grace's warning are my armor now. Tomorrow I'll see how Clara handles my letter, but tonight I'm holding on to Dad's words like a lifeline. Asheville's streets feel alive with festival energy, but I'm ready for a different kind of fight. Clara's not just my sister, she's my opponent, and I'm done playing her game. The Montford Community Center smells of cheap coffee and carpet cleaner, the kind of place where Asheville's quirky charm meets bureaucratic boredom. I'm sitting in the third row from the back, my heart pounding like a drum. Tonight's the HOA meeting, and my letter, backed by Lila's screenshots and Cheryl's legal polish, is about to hit like a storm. The room's buzzing, neighbors shifting in navy plastic chairs, their whispers sharp as the stained glass windows catch the last of the evening light. Clara stands up front, her white blouse crisp, sleeves rolled up like she's ready to lead a revolution. Her smile is practiced, but I know what's behind it. I clutch a flash drive in my pocket, loaded with evidence, Clara's email drafts, photos from her dash cam, and a screen-recorded video from a whistleblower with HOA portal access. Cheryl warned me this could shake things up, but Dad's words, protect your peace, push me forward. Grace O'Malley sits 2 rows ahead, her silver hair glinting as she gives me a nod. Layla's in the back, her hoodie pulled low, eyes darting between me and her mom. I wonder what she's thinking, but her texts, I'm sorry, Aunt Sophie, tell me she's starting to see Clara's cracks. The HOA president, a balding guy named Tom with a tie too tight, calls the meeting to order. Clara steps up, her voice smooth as Asheville's river on a calm day. I just want to address the recent confusion, she says, scanning the room. Some complaints have been taken out of context, emotions are high, but the HOA stands for unity and standards. She skims past me, like I'm invisible. My fingers tighten around the flash drive. She's painting herself as the victim, but I'm about to change the narrative. Mrs. Carver, the treasurer, a woman in her 70s with hair like steel wool, raises a hand. Clara, she says, her voice cool, do you deny submitting complaints under other residents' names? The room stills. Clara's neck flushes pink. Excuse me? She says, her smile faltering. I've followed protocol. Anything else is a misinterpretation. That's my cue. I stand, legs steady despite the eyes turning my way. I'd like to submit something for the board's review, I say, my voice clear. Heads swivel, a few gasps ripple through. I walk to the front, heels tapping on the linoleum, and hand the flash drive to the secretary, Ms. Patel. It's a video, I say, from someone with admin access to the HOA portal. It shows email drafts from Clara's account, including complaints filed under fake names. One's titled, "This Will Shut Her Up." The room goes pin drop silent. Miss Patel plugs in the drive and the projector flickers to life. There's Clara's account, her cursor hovering over my photo, me in my garage sorting tools. The email subject line glows. "This will shut her up." Notes in the margin list, ongoing violations, all tied to me. A low murmur spreads like wind through Asheville's cedars. Clara's mouth opens, but no sound comes out. Tom leans forward, his tie choking him. "Clara, is this accurate?" She stammers. "It's not what it looks like. Those drafts weren't sent." I don't flinch. "You sent enough," I say, my voice steady. "The photos, the fines, they're all from you." Someone in the second row reads the subject line aloud, soft but clear. "This will shut her up." I meet Clara's eyes. "You said I should have known better." I figured I'd return the favor. The room erupts in whispers. Lila's eyes are wide, her hands clenched. Grace gives a small smile like she's proud. Tom clears his throat. Effective immediately, Clara Hayes is suspended from board duties pending a full audit. All related complaints will be reviewed. A man in the back claps once, then another, until it's a slow, steady rhythm. Not for me, but for truth finally spoken. Clara grabs her purse, her cheeks crimson, and walks out, her heels clicking like a retreating army. No one follows her. I sit back down, my heart still racing but lighter. Evan texts as the meeting wraps, "I'm sorry, Sophie. I didn't know it was this bad." I don't reply. Not yet. Lila catches my eye as she slips out, her expression torn. I've won this round, but the war's not over. Clara's down, but she's not out, and I know she'll try something else. Tomorrow I'll brace for her next move, but tonight, I walk home under Asheville's starry sky. The rivers hum a quiet victory song. I'm not invisible anymore, and Clara's about to learn what happens when you underestimate me. The HOA meeting left a crack in the air, like Asheville's sky after a storm, clear but charged. I'm walking home under Montford's streetlights. I feel lighter, like I've shed a weight I didn't know I was carrying. Clara's suspension from the HOA board was a win, but her crimson cheeks and silent exit replay in my mind. She's not done with me. I know her too well. The French Broad River hums softly, its ripples catching the moon's glow, and my bungalow's porch light flickers as I step inside. Dad's letter, "Protect your peace," sits folded in my pocket, a reminder that this fight isn't just about fines. It's about who I am. The next morning, I wake to a quiet house, the kind of quiet that feels like it's waiting for something. I brew coffee, the drip steady against the patter of rain outside. Asheville's Fall Arts Festival is in full swing. Downtown's alive with street musicians and craft stalls. But my street feels like it's holding its breath. I'm about to head to the warehouse when I spot a cardboard box on my porch, tucked beside the welcome mat. No note, no delivery truck, just there. It's small, the edges damp from the morning mist, and my heart stutters as I carry it inside. I set it on the kitchen table, my hands hesitant. The flaps peel back slowly, like I'm afraid it'll bite. Inside, at the top, is a folded sheet of notebook paper. My handwriting, from a letter I wrote to Mom years ago after her surgery, begging for a bridge over the silence between us. It's torn open, the crease jagged, like someone read it and didn't care. Beneath it is my childhood photo album, the one I thought was lost in Clara's trash, its pages warped but now dried and rebound, corners crisp. A yellow post-it clings to the cover, Clara's handwriting unmistakable. I didn't mean for it to go that far, I just didn't want to be second anymore. No apology, no signature. Just her version of peace, dropped like a half-hearted offering. I sit, staring at the box, the coffee gone cold. Clara's note stings, not because it's cruel, but because it's empty. She's not sorry, she's justifying. I think of her at the HOA meeting, her perfect blouse and faltering smile, and I realize this box isn't closure. It's her trying to control the story again. I don't cry or call her. I slide the album onto my bookshelf, next to Dad's repair manual, and tuck the note away. This isn't forgiveness. It's a boundary, hard and clear. Like the lines Dad taught me to draw when tightening a bolt. Maya texts as I'm getting ready for work. Team dinner at 12 Bones Smokehouse tonight. You in? Her invite feels like a lifeline, a reminder that I'm not as alone as Clara wants me to feel. At the warehouse, the air hums with forklifts and chatter, but Maya pulls me aside in the break room. Heard about the HOA drama, she says, her eyes bright. You took her down, Sophie. That's badass. I manage a smile, telling her about the box. Her jaw tightens. She's trying to buy you off with guilt. Don't let her. Maya's been through too much. Evictions, custody fights, to fall for Clara's games, and her strength is contagious. That evening, I head to 12 Bones, the smoky scent of ribs and collards hitting me as I walk in. Asheville's artsy crowd fills the place, tattooed locals, festival goers in flannel. My warehouse crew is at a corner table, Maya waving me over. They cheer as I sit, raising plastic cups of sweet tea, like I've won a war. To Sophie, who doesn't take crap? Maya toasts, and I laugh, the sound foreign but warm. For the first time in weeks, I feel seen, not as Clara's sister or the family fixer, but as me. Lila shows up at my place later, her hoodie damp from the drizzle. She's 18, all sharp eyes and quiet questions, and I can tell she's carrying something heavy. Aunt Sophie, she says, sitting on my couch. I found more stuff on Mom's laptop. She wrote emails about you to the HOA pretending to be neighbors. Her voice cracks like she's betraying Clara by telling me. I nod, keeping my tone soft. I know, I used one of your screenshots at the meeting. Her eyes widen. You didn't tell her it was me, right? I shake my head. Never will. Lila exhales, then pulls out a small wrench from her pocket. Dad's, one I gave her years ago. Can you teach me to use this? She asks. Like Grandpa did? My heart swells. This isn't just about tools. It's about keeping Dad's legacy alive, away from Clara's shadow. I walk Lila to the door. The rivers hum faint under the festival's distant music. Come by tomorrow, I say. We'll start with the basics. She nods, a flicker of hope in her eyes. As she leaves, I realize Clara's box didn't break me. It showed me what I'm fighting for. Tomorrow I'll check on Cheryl's audit, but tonight, I'm holding on to this moment, where I'm not just Sophie the fixer, but Sophie the aunt, the friend, the one who's still here. Clara's box is on my mind as I wake to Asheville's golden autumn light, the kind that makes Montford's bungalows glow like a painting. For the first time in weeks, I don't feel like I'm shrinking. The HOA meeting exposed Clara's lies, her fake complaints, that email titled, "This will shut her up," and the city's audit is moving fast. I brew coffee, the drip mingling with the sound of festival buskers tuning up downtown. My phone buzzes. Cheryl from the legal aid clinic. Good news, she says. The audit's done. Your record's clear and Clara's complaints are invalidated. She's off the HOA board effective immediately. My breath catches. It's real. She's done. I sit at the kitchen table, Dad's letter beside me, and let it sink in. No more $5,900 fine, no more photos from her dash cam. Clara resigned from her nonprofit too, the local paper citing family focus. I should feel triumphant, but there's a hollowness. Clara was my sister, not just my enemy. I head outside, needing to do something with my hands. My bungalow's porch is chipped, the paint peeling like old skin. I grab a can of gray-blue paint from the garage, the color of Asheville's misty mornings, and start brushing. The strokes are steady, each one a claim on my space. I plant daffodil bulbs along the walkway, their yellow tips defiant against the HOA's clipboard patrol. Evan calls as I'm wiping paint off my hands. Sophie, he says, his landscaper's drawl heavy. I'm sorry, I didn't think Clara would go that far. I pause, the phone cold against my ear. You told me to lay low, Evan. You picked her side. He's quiet then. I was wrong. I didn't see it. I let the silence stretch, Dad's words in my mind. Don't wait for their apology. I know, I say finally. But I'm done waiting for you to catch up. He doesn't argue, just promises to stop by soon. I hang up, not angry, just clear. I don't need his guilt. I need my peace. I head to Tupelo Honey for lunch. The cafe's warm lights and honey-drizzled biscuits, a comfort. Asheville's festival crowd spills onto the sidewalks, guitar strumming, artisans selling pottery. Lila texts as I sip sweet tea. Talk to Mom. She admitted she took credit for fixing Grandma's roof. It was you, wasn't it? I smile, typing back, yeah, come by later. We'll work on that wrench. Lila's starting to see through Clara's stories, and it feels like a small victory, like planting those daffodils. Grace O'Malley stops by my porch that afternoon, a tray of lemon cookies in hand. You're looking like yourself again, she says, her eyes sharp but kind. Heard Clara's out of the nonprofit game. Neighborhood's talking. I offer her a seat, the paint fumes mixing with the river's earthy scent. They're not wrong, I say. But I'm not doing this for talk. Grace nods, like she's known this fight all along. You're like your dad, she says. He fixed what mattered, not what shone. Her words hit deep, and I realize Montford's starting to see me, not Clara's version of me. That evening, I sit in my garage, Dad's toolbox open, Lila's wrench beside it. The festival's music drifts in, a banjo's twang mingling with the river's hum. I'm not just clearing my name. I'm building something new. Tomorrow, I'll start that repair workshop for Lila and other teens, passing on Dad's lessons. Clara's out of the HOA, out of my fight, but I know she'll try one last move. I'm ready, not because I'm angry, but because I'm finally free to be me. I'm standing by my father's grave near Biltmore Village, the autumn leaves of Asheville glowing red and gold around me. The air is crisp, carrying the earthy hum of the French Broad River and the faint echo of festival music from downtown. Leela, my niece, stands beside me, her hoodie tugged tight against the breeze, her eyes fixed on the small headstone. It's been weeks since Clara's fall from the HOA board, since her box of half-hearted peace offerings landed on my porch. I've won. My record's clear, the fines are gone, and Clara's lies are exposed. But standing here, I feel less like a victor, and more like someone who's finally found her place. Layla breaks the silence, her voice soft. Is it true, Aunt Sophie? You fixed Grandma's roof when it collapsed, not Mom. I look at her, her sharp eyes searching for truth. I nod. Yeah, I didn't do it for credit. She clutches the small wrench I gave her, one of Dad's, her fingers tracing its worn handle. Mom always said it was her. I smile, not out of pity, but relief. She needed the spotlight. I just needed the work done. Lila nods, her expression heavy with questions she's not ready to ask. I pull the wrench from my pocket, the one Dad let me hold when I was 8, and place it on the headstone's corner. Thank you, Daddy, I whisper, the words catching in my throat. We stand a little longer, the wind stirring Lila's hair, the leaves rustling like they're whispering back. I tell her about Dad, how he'd fix neighbors' cars for free, how he'd sketch brake systems in his notebook, always saying, "You're fixing faith, Sophie, not just engines." Lila listens, her eyes bright. I want to learn that, she says. Not just tools, but that. I nod, promising to teach her, not just for Dad, but for her, for me. As we walk back to the car, the Biltmore spires loom in the distance, a reminder of Asheville's quiet grandeur. Lila's steps are lighter, like she's carrying less of Clara's shadow. Back at my bungalow, Montford's streets are alive with festival stragglers, buskers strumming, artisans packing up pottery stalls. My porch is freshly painted gray-blue, daffodils blooming defiantly along the walkway. I've turned my garage into a workshop, not for profit, but for kids like Leela, teaching them to fix bikes, tighten bolts, feel the weight of tools in their hands. Maya's there when I arrive, her son Javier, tinkering with a tire pump beside Lila. You're starting a revolution, Sophie, Maya says, grinning. Teaching these kids to build, not break. I laugh, the sound easier now, like it belongs to me again. Grace O'Malley stops by with a bag of lemon cookies, her silver hair catching the porch light. It's good to see you out here, she says, her eyes sharp but warm. The neighborhood's different with you shining. I offer her coffee, the river's hum mingling with the clink of mugs. Other neighbors join over the week, Clara from 2 doors down with a thermos of chai, Mr. Epstein with stories of his grandkids. They don't mention the HOA drama or Clara's exit, and they don't need to. Their presence says enough. I'm seen, not as the fixer, but as Sophie. Inside, my bookshelf holds Dad's repair manual and Clara's box, not hidden but displayed, a reminder of boundaries, not pain. Mom texted yesterday asking me to move on from the drama, but I didn't reply. I'm not angry, just done waiting for her to see me. Evan's been by, helping set up the workshop. His apology's quiet, but real. I should have had your back, he said last week, hauling lumber for a workbench. I nodded, letting it go. He's trying, and that's enough for now. I sit on my porch that evening, coffee steaming in my hands, the stars stretching across Asheville's sky. The festival's music has faded, but the river's hum is steady, grounding. I open Dad's notebook, its pages smelling of oil and cedar. His words on the last page hit differently now. You're not fixing engines, you're fixing faith. I smile, because this time, it sticks. I'm not fixing Clara's messes or Mom's silence anymore. I'm fixing my own faith, in myself, in the life I'm building. The porch light glows, not because I'm afraid, but because I'm here, present, whole. Montford's not perfect with its HOA rules and nosy clipboards, but it's mine. The daffodils nod in the breeze, loud and bright, like me. Clara's across the street, her house dark tonight, and I don't wonder what she's planning. I've set my boundaries, and she can't cross them anymore. Leela's coming by tomorrow for her first real lesson, and Maya's bringing Javier. We'll fix something small, a bike chain, a loose bolt, but it'll be a start. Asheville's taught me you don't need everyone's light to shine. I'm not the sister who overreacts, the one who's too much. I'm Sophie, the one who fixes what matters, who plants flowers where others see weeds. I close the notebook, the river's song soft in my ears, and take a sip of coffee. This is my peace, and I'm protecting it, one steady breath at a time. I hope you enjoyed this story. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss touching stories. Leave a like and then comment below what you thought of the emotional stories. See you in the next video.